Welcome back to Let's Play Sounds of Her Love. Rays of light and the sounds of chirping of birds enter my room as I pull back my curtain. Outside, the weather isn't anything short of what I asked for. A beautiful day, something which I can surely enjoy. It's still fairly early, according to my brand new alarm clock sitting at the side of my desk. Getting up at this time would usually give me a sour feeling. However, today I have something to motivate me. The thought of Carrie's silky braids caressing her beautiful rose-tinted cheeks as she waits for me, basking in the sunlight, is wonderful. Lately, she's had an alluring aura, which I can't find myself resisting. I'll be meeting her at 10, but I need to have some time to get ready and spruce myself up. She told me to give her the book today rather than at school. It's been a few days since I mentioned it. I assumed she would have wanted it as early as possible. Perhaps she just wanted two things to look forward to. No matter the reason behind it, my fingers tighten around it as I stare down at its cover. She may be excited to receive it, but I'm just as excited to give it to her. Footsteps echo from behind me as the door to my room opens. I turn around to find my mother standing in the doorway. You're up early. Is there something special going on today? Yeah, I'm meeting someone in town. Didn't Dad tell you? No, not that I can remember. If I did that, I didn't pay attention. You know how he gets. I would have thought she would have been pretty interested to hear the details. Anyway, I just about finished breakfast. You can tell me more about it then. Oh, and wake your sister up too. I just went in there, but she probably went right straight back to sleep. It's a Saturday. Can't you just let her sleep in? Most other school kids in Japan would kill to have Saturday mornings free. We're just lucky since we go to the school which follows the curriculum of another country. Alright. I oblige anyway, just get my mother out of my room. It'll still take me a few minutes to get ready. Even though it's only 8 o'clock, I want to be set to get straight out of that door to see Carrie as soon as possible. After doing up my shoelaces, I walk out into the hall and give a knock on my sister's bedroom door. Get up. Fine. The sound of bed sheets being tossed about, along with moans of agony and despair, creep through the crack beside my feet. She really isn't a morning person. At least she's out of bed now. I head back down toward the end of the corridors and approach the descent to the ground floor. Time to have breakfast, something I rarely do on a Saturday. Toast. That's what I smell when sitting down at the dining table, ready to tuck in. It's not the most elegant of dishes. The concept of cooked bread is quite plain. You cannot compare it to a filling traditional English breakfast, but a slice of toast is certainly fine now and then. My sister soon joins me, scraping the chair across the hardwood floor next to me. She apathetically examines the toast before her, putting it in her mouth soon after, a move which bars her from joining the typical morning commotion. So, Paul, who are you meeting then? It's probably that friend he was talking about yesterday. He's going to chill with him, apparently. So I see. My father goes back to eating his toast. However, my mother continues to converse with me. I'm glad you're making more friends, Paul. As if she couldn't make me sound like any more of a loner. A quick glance at the clock on the wall tells me it's approaching 9:45. I ought to set off. I don't have to leave this early, since it's only a short walk away from my house. However, getting to see Carrie for just a little bit longer will probably do me some good. I bet she'll be there early, too. I wave goodbye to my parents, both of whom continue to eat their breakfast and discuss trivial topics which don't necessarily concern me. A cold breeze meets my face as I open the door and step out into the world. Soon enough, in my sight, I catch Carrie's blonde braids swaying softly in the wind as she twiddles her thumbs and waits for me. Apparently she wears her school uniform even to casual trips. She hasn't noticed me approaching yet, but she soon will. I don't think I'll be able to cover her eyes and surprise her. As I approach her, something weird is made apparent. She's still wearing her school uniform, even though it's a Saturday. Like I said. I have to admit, it does look good on her, but I was hoping to see her wearing something casual. Maybe I should ask her about it. She turns her head towards my direction and finally takes notice of me, looking visibly startled even though I'm nowhere near her yet. My hand glides through the wind as I wave to her, slowly but surely making my way beside her. Hey, Carrie.
Hello?
How long have you been waiting for? I knew she would arrive before me, but I wouldn't want her to have waited for too long.
Oh, not long.
That's good. She could just be saying that to make me less concerned, but I'll trust her on it.
Shall we get going then?
Carrie takes the initiative and I give her a truthful response. Yes, I'd love to. Carrie blushes at my answer. I really do want to go on this trip with her. Carrie and I walk towards the train station side by side. In a way, she is acting as my guide as I still don't know my way around. I can't help but take a few glances at her whenever possible. She herself does the same, peering towards me from time to time. The trip into the city wasn't long, but sure was enjoyable. Carrie and I didn't converse much, but it wasn't as if either of us was uninterested in the other. An enjoyable silence. Carrie takes me through the city, trying to stay as close to me as she can, despite her taking the lead. It's confusing, sure, but I wouldn't be one to argue against it. Oh, hey. Phone boxes, telephone booths. That's what they used to call them back in the day when they used to have them.
We're almost there.
She continues to weave through the urban sprawl as we make our way towards the library she had planned on visiting. The way she walks is quite cute in its own way. She takes small, dainty strides, making light footsteps which tap quietly against the pavement. Finally, she stops and turns towards me, almost making me bump into her.
Sorry.
She looks visibly upset about the ordeal, so I calm her down as always. It's alright, Carrie.
Okay. Anyway, we're here now.
I look to my left to see a modern building with signage designated as the town's public library. The exterior is fairly clean, so perhaps it is newly built.
I preferred the old one. The stonework was pretty. Though, this one is good too.
Carrie gives me her thoughts on the building, confirming my suspicions on the date of construction. It's no surprise. Urban areas are always changing. Shall we go inside?
Sure. You should have brought your uniform. They give discounts to students.
Ah, wait a minute, discounts. So that's why she was wearing it. Certainly it'd be simpler for her to say she is a student anyway. Though pretending to be a regular high schooler on the Japanese curriculum works too, even though she looks far from it. Wasn't planning on buying any books anyway. Even if I wanted one, I'd take it out on a lease anyway. Let's observe silence at all times. At least that aspect of a library is observed. As a pair, we make our way inside the building. We are greeted to the warmth of the heating, alongside the traditional smell of books you'd expect in a library.
I just want to look around. I probably won't get anything.
Maybe the actual fact of the matter is that she wasn't just planning on going to the library and just wanted to invite me out. Well, it's a possibility. I want to do more with her, but just coming here is enough. Seeing her cute demeanor on the weekend is a treat in and of itself. The two of us stroll through the library together, with Carrie taking me through between the bookshelves as she scans for anything that might pique her interest. I can't help but watch her eyes dart from shelf to shelf as she looks keenly at the covers of each book. She finally reaches out towards something and gracefully clasps the book within her grasp. Within her grip, rather. Well, found something?
It's a book about gardening. I like flowers, so I thought it would become another hobby.
How many hobbies does this girl have?
I think this'll do. We can set off now.
Carrie shoots me a smile, one which pierces my heart. She guides me toward a digital checkout in which she swipes the book and places it within a bag. It's strange to think that even libraries have self-service nowadays. The world sure is changing.
Shall we go then?
Yes, let's. Side by side, Carrie and I walk out of the library. The motion of her body causes her bag and the book inside to sway as she takes one step after another. We come to find ourselves outside of the library, since neither one of us had really planned on doing anything afterwards.
My horoscope said today would be a good day.
Your horoscope? For some reason, Carrie brings up her horoscope. Not that I mind, but it's a pretty abstract topic to bring up out of the blue. Well, was it?
It was.
Oh. Carrie eagerly exclaims the fact, causing herself to blush. Alongside her, I also go red. I never would have thought that I could have brought so much satisfaction to someone. When is your birthday anyway, Carrie? I ask her simply because I want to know more about her. If I don't know her birthday, how am I supposed to get her a present?
My birthday? September 3rd. I'm a Virgo.
Not that away. So her birthday wasn't even that long ago. Happy belated birthday.
Thank you. When's yours?
She wants to know my birthday as well? I may as well tell her. Tell Carrie your birthday, number of month. Let's see. What should I tell her? I don't know whether to tell her my actual birthday or to give a fake one. Let's try this one. My birthday is on the 7th.
Oh, I'll add it to the calendar on my phone.
Oops, I think I may have. Skabobbled. Okay. I should have said ordinal. Okay. Let's give him a Tanabata birthday. Speaking of phones, I really need a contact picture for Carrie. Well, I just want a photo of her, but still. Oh dear. Oh dear, this could bite him. Since this run through, I lied and said he was a boy. Carrie, can I take a photo of you? Your contact picture.
What?
Carrie looks shocked at my stare and then moved her back slightly. But that doesn't stop me from bringing my phone up and taking the shot. Her expression in the photo isn't a happy one, but she still looks pretty cute. I'll keep it.
I don't like having my photo taken.
Oh man, I kind of figured. Paul, you noink. Come on, you look good in it. Turning my phone screen to face Carrie, I show her the photo. This still doesn't look particularly happy about it, but I don't think she's angry.
Alright. I'll let you keep it.
I would rather have a smiling photo. That would be cuter.
But only because it's you.
Your statement takes me aback. Carrie herself seems pretty composed about it, albeit blushing slightly. Anyway, is there anything else you'd like to do?
Anything else? I'm not sure.
Well, what time is it? Am I feeling hungry? I'm not sure.
Have you got any ideas?
Well, I asked her since I couldn't really come up with anything myself. Though the bit thought it shouldn't be that hard to find something to do. I think we should get going.
Sure.
Carrie agrees with me, yet she still seems pretty dejected. I would like to spend more time with her, sure. Bringing her around the town without anything to do, though, doesn't seem like it would be a good use of our time. I'll just enjoy what I've been given. Carrie and I make our way towards this train station. She takes a place beside me with her hair brushing against her cheeks and the sun shining down, reflecting off her lips. The sky is noticeably darker than before as we walk through the street where we first met. Today certainly was enjoyable, both of us finding satisfaction just by being with each other. Carrie looks at me with a blush. My guess is that she's probably going to ask me something.
Would you like to come to my house for dinner?
Whoa. She's inviting me to her house? That's a pretty bold thing to ask. Technically, we did just go on a date, but in reality it was more of a trip to the library as friends. This, though, I don't know what to say. Carrie probably doesn't realize its forwardness herself. That or I'm overcomplicating it. Is having dinner at her house really such an abstract concept to me? Maybe going with her on this trip is giving me a few thoughts I didn't have before. Are you sure you didn't have them before? You're kind of beating them off with a stick in an earlier scene. Thoughts, I mean. Either way, I can't just go over there without asking my parents first. Pulling out my phone, I give Carrie my answer. Sure, let me just tell my parents where I'll be. Carrie gives me a nod as I wait for someone to pick up on the other end of the line. Mine isn't even that far from here, so I could have just walked in and told them. This though is easier despite it costing money. Hello? Unexpectedly, my sister answers in the place of either my mother or father. Then why? Wait a minute. Why is it listed as sister? Sis, where's Mom and Dad? Should I have been giving him an English accent all this time? Oh well. They're going out to dinner. They never told me anything about that. Well, will you be fine on your own? I'll be out for a bit too. Yeah, I'll get to play me music extra loud. Just don't disturb the neighbors, okay?
Don't worry, I won't. I'll tell Mom and Dad you're going to someone with a girl, okay?
She understands with a laugh, even though I really am going somewhere with a girl. Alright, whatever. I'll see you later.
Sure.
She hangs up before I can, leaving me holding my ear next to my ear, listening to the silence. The warmth of my pocket greets my hand as I put it away, turning to face Carrie, who's still observing me intently. Shall we go then?
Sure. I'll lead the way.
Good idea. The cool late evening air brushes my bemused face. Carrie and I idle outside her house, a rather plain and generic building. The thoughts of her living in an elaborate mansion dissipate from my mind. The building is nothing short of a nice house. I just expected that it would be fancier.
Should we go inside?
No, we should have dinner outside in the street. Carrie calls out to me from my side, giving the signal that she's ready to go in. She's composed, a contrast with her prior shyness, though the bloom of red on her cheeks is still all too apparent. It's a thing that will always suit her. Certainly. Our shoes meet the ground in unison, her taking a step forward into a place she's accustomed to. Me, however, walking into a new experience, something cherishable. I've been to people's houses plenty of times, just not any girls. Standing before the door, a thought flutters into my head whilst Carrie's fingers wrap around the silver handle. Coming here, I'm bound to meet her family, aren't I? Did she even tell them that she planned on inviting me over? If so, I would have done a lot more to make myself look more impressionable. Is that the right word? Maybe presentable would have been better. Caressing the handle lightly, Carrie twists her key delicately and pulls it down. The warmth from the inside soon meets us as bit by bit the door opens, Carrie taking the first step through, escorting me in.
Well, we're here.
Carrie's smile is one of many treats I've been given today. She plays with her hair, eyes directed towards me, anticipating a response. Now that we're under a brighter light, I can see her face much more clearly. I still can't get enough of it. Despite being lost for words, one thing does make it out of my mouth. This is a nice house. Carrie looks back, bewildered by my out-of-place statement. Huh? I would have thought that was a kind of generic thing to say. Oh, okay. Thank you. I bought it myself. Suited man appears out of the blue, startlingly slightly. It's natural, of course, him appearing, that is. Getting caught off guard like that isn't a virtue. This must be Carrie's father. The man, himself a foreigner like Carrie, carries a thick accent that differs from hers. Maybe I should back up. Thank you. I bought it myself. At least when she does speak. The majority of the time her sentences are broken into pieces as she stumbles around her words. A hindrance, but a fairly cute one at that. Father's voice, however, is grittier and gravelly. It's not as stereotypical as the accent is portrayed as, by far. But hearing him speak Japanese would probably mortify me. Luckily enough, we're all used to speaking English. You must be that friend. Let's see. You must be that friend Carrie had told me about. She's really keen on having you over. I'm probably butchering the accent. I'm sorry. I'm just gonna speak in kind of seems natural to me. Carrie blushes at her father's statement. It's not like Carrie to bring me here on a whim, so I wasn't wrong in guessing that she had planned this evening in advance. Yes, it's nice to meet you, Mr. Irwood. Irwood. When did I... Oh, right, from the card. My pleasure. I'm glad you are getting along so well with my daughter. It's understandable that he is, after what Carrie had told me she'd never made any friends during his stay in our school. Being a parent and seeing that would leave anyone concerned, though the opposite is true as well. Knowing your daughter's first true friend there as a guy has probably left him having a couple of questions. Even though it seems fairly friendly, I wouldn't blame him if he had any suspicions. One thing that is quite odd is the absence of Carrie's mother. Not that she couldn't be in work. It's just odd that Carrie had brought her up. She never talked much about her father either. It's a nice thing to meet her family. In a way, I'm learning more about Carrie herself than anything. Her experiences and those close to her. I guess her family is all she has when outside of school. At least until I came along. I still feel inclined about asking where her mother is. It's weird, but my mind can't help ruminate over her. Carrie herself must have had an attractive mother to turn out the way she is. Though I wouldn't tell her that. I'm not an expert in genetics either. Well, she must have had an attractive mother in some fashion. Otherwise she wouldn't have existed. So, well, I can't help it. She's really an interesting person. No. Or she's a really interesting person. Carrie reddens at my statement. At this point, anything I could say about her would make her blush. Not only because of her timidness, there's nothing negative to say either. I'm glad you think so. I'll go ahead and set the table. Make yourself at home. Though don't make it your home. I'd expect you to pay rent otherwise. His joke is lost on me, but I still draw a smile on my face as to act polite and feign a response. I don't know what's so ununderstandable about that joke, but I'm not him. Carrie herself seemed pretty amused by the joke, covering her mouth to seal her faint but girlish giggles. Aww. Guess dad jokes are only effective when they're actually coming from your father. Mine acts like one big joke himself half the time. I know there are plenty of daughters who would go, Dad! Or at least fictional daughters who would. Mr. Irwood leaves the pair of us standing by the doorway, giving me the chance movement to converse with Carrie in private. I wanted to ask about her mother, though whether I should is a questionable act in itself. Let's see what happens if I do. I'll ask. It's something I'd like to know. Leaving it unanswered will just make me more inquisitive as the night goes on. It might not be polite, but it's a surefire way to get an answer. Of course, there are ways to put it, I guess. So, Carrie, where's your mother? Is she still at work? Carrie stalls her answer, looking at me disdainfully before turning her head aside, a sharp contrast with what I'm normally used to. The elephant in the room is making itself increasingly apparent. I don't think addressing it did any help.
I don't want to talk about her.
Oh, okay. Angry, not visibly sad. I was expecting a death, but now I'm kind of thinking maybe divorce or separation, ran off with somebody. I don't know.
Come on, let's go in for dinner.
Carrie bitterly avoids the topic, walking into the room ahead. Okay. I should have Polly should have apologized for bringing her up. Like if she is gonna be angry, I should at least like placate her by some means. Now she's like going to have to restrain herself from looking bitter. What I did was wrong. Bringing up Carrie's mother without knowing anything wasn't a good idea in hindsight. Where she responded to me was full of nothing but vexation, but none of it directed at me. The entire topic seemed to have bothered her, unsettling her usual reserved attitude, tossed about like a ship in a rough storm. Be a bad idea to bring up the subject again. I want to know more about Carrie, and be there for her too, but that side of her scares me. When the time comes, I must be there for her, but for now I'll have to wait until she is ready to tell me more. Standing here alone isn't a good idea either. Carrie and her father are probably waiting for me. Scene transition. The dining room is spacious, the walls plastered with Western decor and sports memorabilia. The table, mahogany, makes itself distinct as light reflects off its polished finish. And this clock also has no hands. I'm going to guess that all the clocks communicate the time by telepathy or something. But only when you look at them. It looks expensive, topped with various plates and cutlery, more than ready to present whatever is on the menu today. Carrie's father had never told us what it was that we're having. Well, at least Carrie seems to have put on a better demeanor than she had just in the last scene.
We like to keep touch with our heritage. Outside, we try our best to adapt, though.
Yeah, I'm gonna do something. See if I can configure. Carrie must have caught me gazing around the room. Several photos of sports teams lined the walls, possibly rugby by the looks of it. I'm sure it's a national sport. She must have had a hard time adapting to a new country, though not sure how long she's been here. I'll refrain from asking. Now's the time to savor the moment with her. I can understand. Connecting with your heritage is an important thing. The only reason I go to our school is to do just that. My mother made me. Come to think of it, I've never told Carrie about me being half English.
Your heritage. You're only half Japanese, aren't you?
I don't look like the typical Japanese male by any sense, so it's only reasonable that she would conclude that. Let's see if that's any better. I'm half English, though I've never actually been there. Born and raised in Japan.
Interesting. Your English is pretty good.
Yeah, that's better. That is much better, and I can hear her cute voice even better. Well, my father made me learn it every day, even though he's Japanese. I'm sure he thinks he's English, though. He only reads and publishes books in English. He even married an English woman. I'm sure he would have moved there if his company needed someone to act as a foreign representative. Thanks? Oh, so cute. Carrie giggles at my awkward response, with the two of us sitting down at the table together. An act I'd never have expected to be doing with her not even a week ago. Things have gone by so fast, it's unreal.
You know, I enjoy spending time with you.
I'll say it if you don't.
I didn't have anyone to speak to like this before.
By which I mean you being the main character.
This week has been fun. Thank you.
Carrie unexpectedly gave me her gratitude, stifling me slightly as her words caused my face to go red. At least, I'll assume it is. I can't really tell. Inside I am blushing though. A blush caused by Carrie, which it's usually me who makes her blush. Still, her boldness isn't lost on me, in the social sense at least. Carrie is trying her hardest tonight to make me feel welcomed. She's probably savoring the moment herself. I'll take the initiative and thank her. My pleasure. I've enjoyed it. Carrie herself blushes, though I feel it's more of an appreciative one rather than one of embarrassment or shyness. One with more importance to it. Mr. Irwood, Carrie's father, walks back into the room carrying a plate in each hand, both of them topped with the same meal. Beef, diced potatoes, and a selection of vegetables, all topped with gravy, even though neither of us asked for any. After a long but undoubtedly enjoyable day out with Carrie, I found myself craving a nice meal. Maybe it's just a smell, but certainly something I can appreciate. The entire day has led me to find myself closer to Carrie, with her closer to me. She wouldn't have thanked me for being her friend otherwise. Nobody else has done that, though I've never had many friends myself either. Moving schools would usually worsen my situation, though I found myself meeting Carrie from doing so. There are no complaints. The three of us begin on our meals, winding down to focus on our own plates. The taste matches the smell. The rich beef complements the soft potatoes as the two amalgamate on my taste buds. So, I bet you were wondering how a Welsh family came to Japan then. I wasn't, but avoiding this dining table talk wouldn't make me look good to Carrie's father. I heard that getting a work permit is pretty hard, so getting permanent residence must have been quite a feat. Oh, trust me, it was. Originally, I was supposed to only be here for a few years as an engineer. Though I just found myself liking the place, so I decided to stay. Seems like he has a well-paying job, if I can afford to migrate here and send Carrie to our school. Seems like a pretty nice guy, to be quite honest. Hopefully he thinks the same of me, to an extent anyway. Being the guy his daughter just dragged home, I wouldn't want him to dislike me. Dragged. I willingly came. More so since his daughter is Carrie. Making a bad impression isn't an option. Just as I'm about to finish my meal, the sound of ringing chimes comes through the walls from another room. A phone call. Excuse me, let me just take this. Mr. Irwood rises from his seat, leaving me and Carrie alone to ourselves once again. It would be a rude thing to say I'm glad he is gone, but it's only because I get to spend extra time with Carrie. Alone, that is. Carrie remains silent next to me, much to my displeasure. I thought it would be easy to come up with a topic to talk about, but right now Carrie seems disinterested in my presence. A sad look coats her face. Despite its beauty, if I could call it that, the fact that her expression has shifted from a once happy and content one to one of desolation is making me concerned. The cause of Carrie's dejection is soon apparent. Through the walls flows the sound of Carrie's father, a sound of anger. I try to make out some of the words. Why is it my fault? You are the one that decided to ruin everything. We have a daughter, you know. Have you ever taken her thoughts into consideration? Oh, I think I may have hit it on the nose. My own mood plummets, taking in one word after another. this is the reason that Carrie's mother isn't here. The relationship between her parents has been crumbling before her, by the sounds of it. I really don't want to get myself caught up in this. I'm irresponsible, says the one who decided to get themselves shit-faced and pounded by their ex. Oh. The evening should not have gone in this direction. Carrie's father is probably kicking himself now that the dinner had been disrupted. It's not very impressionable to argue with your wife in front of guests. I won't blame him for getting carried away. Feeling a tug on my arm, I see Carrie's slender fingers grasping at my sleeve as she gently pulls on it, still carrying that same sad expression, the one that hurts me. I don't want to see her like this. However, what is going on between her parents concerns me. I don't want Carrie to experience the sadness behind that face of hers. Would listening for a bit really hurt? It's none of my business, but my heart is on fire. Oh. I'm selecting the first option every time. Otherwise, I would go with her. Carrie stands up without me and leaves the dining room, leaving me sitting alone by myself. Did I upset her? Hopefully not. The sort of behavior is really unusual for her, though I can understand where it's coming from. Raised voices turned to shouts as I continue listening to Carrie's father on the phone. This level of aggression between her parents is undoubtedly concerning. I think I've heard enough. I raise myself from the chair, leaving nothing but a clean plate before me. Now I need to find where Carrie has gone. It shouldn't be too hard to find her. Walking into the hall, I find Carrie standing against the wall with her head in her hands. I wouldn't want to see her expression. I know it's not a good one. Despite this, I really want to address the issue. I can't leave this house knowing that there's something wrong in Carrie's life. Even if I can't do anything to help, all I want to do is be there for her. Carrie? Upon my words, Carrie brings herself closer. Her feet firmly in my direction, she turns to face me, finally allowing me to see the woeful expression on her face.
Please, forget what you heard tonight.
I can't do that. But Carrie...
I don't want you to get involved.
Eyes sharpened, her expression turns to a stern one. Is she angry that I continued listening to her father?
Forget everything. Forget about her.
Carrie stabs hate into the tone of her voice when mentioning her mother, even disregarding the fact that she is her mother. This divide between parents is clearly something that has pained Carrie, wounded her even. Why can't I be there to help her? If anything is wrong, Carrie, I want to be there for you. I'm your friend, after all.
You really mean that?
Sure, even if I can't fix the actual situation, I can at least give you comfort. Like a hug, not like, certain other visual novels. Of course I do. I don't want to see you like this, Carrie. Even if I can't change anything, I want to be there with you during the hard times. Carrie's eyes fall towards the floor, and soon after her head she looks down and breathes. That is supposed to have an E after the H game. So many people make that mistake. Heavily to compose herself.
Okay. Just follow me, please.
She walks out of the room, leaving me to follow behind after her. I don't know where she's going to take me, Surely something good will come out of this. Carrie, a person I have grown to enjoy the company of, is leading me higher toward the upper floor of her house. Our relationship has blossomed unexpectedly, flowering a friendship both of us cherish with nothing but pure passion. I can only assume she's leading me to her bedroom, an action which would be typically suitable for this situation. Is for me to get flustered, overcomplicating things by assuming the most raunchy and far-off situation. She wants to talk, though. That I can tell from what we were subject to downstairs. It's obvious that she wants to address it. Carrie leads from in front, forcing me to divert my head in an act of politeness as to not look up her skirt. She can't see me anyway, so she wouldn't know if I did. Now is not the time for that, though.
This way.
Her voice is firm, as if she has found something inside of her that is pushing her forward, giving her the courage to speak. Inside, though, she must be nervous. The entire situation between her mother and father wouldn't be something she could easily talk about. I trace Carrie's footsteps with my own as we walk down the hall towards her room. Her body is rigid, filled with a composure of sorts. I can't imagine how long she must have waited for this moment to be able to tell someone outside of her family circle what her life has been like. An unsettled relationship between her parents, her absence from school, and experiencing pure loneliness. All of that must have accumulated into an emotion of anger and misery, one of sadness. In a way, I'm glad I found her. In what way are you not glad? Though I can't be the one to solve her problems, I want to help her. We walk into a room painted in beige. Carrie goes forward and starts to undo her braids, slowly letting her silky hair fall down straight. Oh, I wonder what had changed. A way I've never seen it. Something different. I prefer her with the braids, but maybe that's just because it's how I'm used to seeing her. She still looks beautiful either way. Carrie rests her glasses on her nightstand, then takes a seat on her bed. The pink, love heart embellished bedding gives up a girlish vibe. I still feel as if they suit her. Oh, game, by the way, we're seeing her panties a little bit. And, oh, that clock has hands, so it's not a universal thing in this game. Apparently we're having dinner at 2? We had dinner at like 2 or 1:30 or something. So, yeah, that's normal in some definitions. She herself holds a downcast expression, the smooth skin of her hands clutching her knees tightly. It'd be a cute pose if she weren't plagued by the sorrows of her past, no matter how recent they may be. Well, it's that cute pose that, although saying that, a thin gap between her thighs is visible, leaving her underwear within view. I tried to avoid it earlier, but as Carrie starts talking, it would be rude of me to look away from her.
Thank you.
Maybe you could position yourself so her ankle is between her panties and you. For what? Seems out of place for me to ask. Carrie must have a lot on her mind she wants to say, though I am confused by her gratitude. She thanks me a lot. Too often, maybe, but this time there's surely more of an important meaning behind it.
For offering to help. It really made me happy.
Isn't that what a friend should do? Well, she doesn't have any friends. Maybe she doesn't really know.
Friends. That's right. You're important to me.
Oh. Carrie goes on, letting her emotions float out from within.
When we first met, I was nervous. It wasn't even that long ago. Do you know why? Why I held myself back?
Let me take a guess. Is it because you're afraid that if your mother can leave you, then who can stay? No? But surely you can see that you've improved. You can talk to me fairly easily now.
It's still there. On the inside. A lack of self-confidence. Even with strangers. People who don't even know me. Always get that impression.
Carrie still acts as if she hasn't improved. I wouldn't know what she's feeling on the inside, so I can't be one to judge. Maybe it's just me she's gotten better with, which would be a reasonable assumption. I'm the only person that she converses with that isn't within her family. A group of people which is probably limited to just her father. It must have been painful.
It never used to be like this. Though I was always a quiet person. In the past, I never really had a good social life. There was this one girl who never really liked me.
Wow. I can't imagine being that kind of person.
Thinking about it now still makes me feel sick and angry. It was 2 years ago.
2 years when you were 16, I guess. I want to ask her why didn't she speak up for herself, though actually asking it would be rather spiteful. A lonely girl trying to study for exams. It would have been quite a stressful time. Knowing the education system, they wouldn't have done much for her, or didn't. I don't know if she had spoken to any teachers.
The year after, I was pulled out of school by my father. He knew something was wrong, so I spent the year at home. I told you I was ill, didn't I?
So that was a lie?
It was. Sorry.
I'm not angry. Wait a minute. Accepting her apology would be wrong? She probably had just a clue, visual novel writer. This is about English-speaking people, even though they're in Japan.
After it all,
Words.
I felt nervous.
Check out their meanings sometime.
I couldn't socialize.
Wiktionary is
I
free.
feared a reaction. If I went through that again, I wouldn't know what to do. Then I came back and met you.
So it wasn't easy for Carrie to open up to me. It almost seems as if I forced her with how quick it has all gone. From a different perspective, I wouldn't be standing here now if she didn't want to get along. Nobody outright refused any interaction. It was just hard for her, for an understandable reason. It makes me feel happy that she had found what she had been looking for.
That girl had gone, so I went back. But I was still scarred with loneliness. Everyone knew me from before, and stayed away.
Huh. What did that girl do? Did she spread terrible rumors?
But you were there, and you gave me an opportunity. That's why I want to thank you for becoming my friend. You mean a lot to me.
Carrie stands from her bed, finishing by giving me her warm-hearted regards. It's a thing which she has always done during the time we've known each other. She's usually quite polite. This, however, is something much more than that. Something special, both to her and to me. Thank you. I'm glad I could be there for you. You're an important friend to me, too. I told you before, didn't I? Carrie nods and smiles, wiping the melancholic expression clean from her face. It's a wonderful sight. To know that our friendship means as much to her, it really makes me happy.
Thanks.
The pair of us stand together in the center of Carrie's bedroom, basking in the presence of each of the other. Around us is silence, barring the light sounds of traffic from outside. It's a lovely atmosphere, something which makes me feel warm inside. I don't want to know what our father's doing, but he must have realized we were gone. Luckily enough, we're not in my house, or my father would be in here the moment we left his side.
So, I guess you got to see my bedroom.
I guess I did.
I want to see yours.
Woohoo!
Though it's probably a bit messy.
Is that true, myself? Out of nowhere, Carrie throws me a jab as she stands before me with a complacent grin. She's right, though. My room is a tip. A tip? Is that British slang or a typo? If I ever did have the courage to bring Carrie anywhere near my family, particularly my father, then cleaning the room would be somewhere on the list of priorities. Well, what can I say? You should take pride in your tidiness. Oh. Carrie giggles at my statement, an act of familiarity which I'm glad we could achieve. Moments ago, Carrie was recalling thoughts from a time filled with a wealth of dictionary words. Sadness, depression, loneliness. Those sorts of words come to mind. Hopefully we can change the experiences of the past, so in the future she doesn't have to look back on painful memories. If you didn't have that bookshelf, I'd dread to see what your room would look like.
I take pride in my books. Thank you. Though, you're right. I like to look after them, but reading them comes first.
There's quite a lot of books there, though. Surely she hasn't read them all. Actually, take that back. She probably has. That vacant smile as she stares toward the bookcase proves it. In all fairness, she's not the only one with a lot of books in her room. I couldn't even count the number in mine. All they do is gather dust as my room continues to be treated like a storeroom by my father, cluttering the house with all his publications. Ooh. Was there ever a time when he actually wrote a book? Putting that thought to the side of my mind, I glance at the alarm clock beside Carrie's bed. It feels as if it is getting late. It's only 2 o'clock?
Oh, ignore the alarm. It's broken.
Aha! The alarm is broken? Or the times, or the hands are pointing at the wrong time. It seems as if we've both had issues with faulty clocks lately. Nonetheless, if it wasn't for that, I doubt I would have met her in the first place. Realizing that I am in fact wearing a watch, I raise it up to check the actual time. Before saying it myself, Carrie's quick to the point.
It's getting late, isn't it?
Yeah, I should probably head back soon. I can't even imagine what my sister might get up to. Carrie smiles, but that wonderful sight quickly turns back into a frown.
I'm sorry about earlier.
It's okay, Carrie. You don't have to apologize. In reality, it's her father's duty to apologize, even though I wouldn't blame him for his actions. It seems as if it's Carrie's mother who's the loose cannon. Carrie herself definitely isn't fond of her. Shall we head downstairs then?
Yes, let's.
Carrie and I make our way out of her room and down the stairs, leaving behind what was both a special yet somehow depressing moment for both of us. Carrie had to recall the times she wanted to forget, but at the same time it made us closer. I now realized she didn't even speak much about her family issues. That I can't blame her for. but it was the reason the two of us left the dining table. All I have to do now is wait until she's ready to speak about such things. Being able to help her is something I want to do. We walked down the hall towards the doorway, Carrie getting ready to see me off. I don't know where her father is, but I'll just have to speak to him another time. Thank you for tonight, Carrie.
I should be thanking you. I'm glad you came. Despite...
Don't worry about that, Carrie. It's all right. Carrie smiles warmly, holding the handle of the door in her hand. I'm sure neither of us is ready to go yet, but I have to get back home nonetheless.
I'll see you on Monday.
She blushes, leaving me to give her a smile in response. I don't think I'll ever get tired of seeing those rosy cheeks. All right, Carrie. I'll see you then.
Bye.
Shutting the door behind me, Carrie and I are now separated. Myself feeling happy despite the cold of the evening. Her, well, I'm not really sure how she's feeling. In all honesty, I hope she is feeling better. Talking with her really made me feel closer to her. Maybe even something more. I take my steps out of the garden, a pretty one at that, each flower still vibrant in the evening sunlight. It's quite a beautiful sight. It is Carrie's after all. The chirping of birds. Oh, it's time to wake up. So it has been over an hour, so let's save and quit, and I will see you next time.